All right, so this question says an experimental plant has an unusual growth pattern. The table shows the total height of this plant after x days. We're to write an equation in the form y is equal to a times b to the x that represents the growth pattern. So here's our table that represents the growth pattern. We're seeing at the start, they were noticing that it was at a height of 1 inch. Then that 1 inch and after day 1 became 4 inches. Then that 4 became 16. 16 became 64 and so on. And again, when we think about the equation in the exponential form, when we look at our tables, we want to identify the initial value and we also want to identify the growth pattern. So that first, the starting height of the plant, we know it's the starting height because the input value is 0. The height that matches that is 1. So our initial value for the table is going to be 1. Then we also want to find the growth factor, which is how are our y or output values changing? What is it's being multiplied by, or what's the multiplier? So 1 times what make 4? 4 times what makes 16? 16 times what makes 64? 64 times what make 256? And if we examine those numbers carefully, we are seeing that the multiplying factor is 4. So each of those numbers, when multiplied by 4, produce the other output. So our growth factor is 4. That would therefore mean that the equation in the form y is equal to a times b to the x, where our a is equal to 1 and or b is equal to 4, would become y is equal to 1, open parentheses, 4 raised to the x power.